Hello, my little munchkins. How is everybody doing? Hi. Hi. Okay, let's try and get a camera at least decent position. Yeah, hello. Let's go to audio. Oh, right, yeah, that's the music. That's the music. Yeah, hopefully that's not too loud. We'll see. How is everybody doing? Hopefully everyone's okay. Let me scooch on up just a little bit. Just a little bit. Hello, Tima. Hello, Shane. Good morning, afternoon, evening. Yeah, it's kind of that time of day where it's not morning anymore, but it's not quite evening. It's a lovely crown, thank you. I like my crown. Yeah. We won't be having a gaming session today. The meeting went on a little bit longer than I was expecting, and I had to do some stuff, some house stuff. But we've got like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours if we're lucky. But I didn't want to get distracted by game because I'm gonna have to get ready for D&D later. And I know what I'm like. I get way too distracted when I'm playing games, so we're just gonna chat, we're just gonna hang, we're gonna chill. Maybe I'll read some more Welsh lore. Because we haven't done that in a little while. But we're just gonna hang out today. We've got a friend from England staying with us for the weekend. Apparently for my birthday. But my birthday's not until like next... No, not next week. The week after. So this Dragon Queen will be another year older, unfortunately. Of course, everyone's like yapping downstairs, so hopefully the mic doesn't pick them up. They should be going to the pub like soon. So we will have peace eventually. But at the moment they're all yapping downstairs. I was trying to wait for them to be quiet. But that's not happening, so hopefully they're quiet enough that the mic does not pick them up. But how are you doing, guys, anyway? It's been a day. It's literally only been one day. Because I was going to stream yesterday. Unfortunately, things happened, and the doggos needed a walk, and then everything else happened. It was just a day. It was chaos. It was chaos. So I'm streaming today instead. Hopefully, I don't know if I'll be able to stream this weekend, because I don't know if we have the little one this weekend. If not, I'll try and stream. Next week we will definitely have the little one Monday to Friday. So if I do stream, it might have to be late night streams. Annoying, but it is what it is. Hopefully you can't hear that's the hairdryer going. I might actually try and see if V-Bridge is going to work today. Stop. Because I haven't got V-Bridge on. I got my normal laptop webcam. I don't hate it, but connect, and then we can turn that off. Okay. Hello? No, we're not going to work either. We're not going to work today either, are we? Oh, there we go, there we go. Okay, it's working now. I don't know why it's doing this. I guess more reasons to hate an iPhone. Yeah, I'm judging you, Apple. I'm judging you so hard. You're apparently supposed to be really good for face tracking and really good for VTubers, and all you've done is wind me up, lag, crash. Well, actually, it hasn't quite crashed, but it does stop working every now and then. It's really annoying. Really annoying. It seems to be working for the moment. We'll see. It is a lot more fluid when it works. It's just, it needs to actually work in order for me to be happy. Well, you know what they say. Women are never happy. I really need to finish this One Piece manga. It's been sitting there. I've had the week. It's been a week, and I still haven't read any of it. I've been too busy, doing nothing. Okay, we're not going to read that one, because I won't be able to pronounce any of that. Let's see. Oh, sorry. My book was in the way of the camera. It was not glitching. Yeah, that was just me. That was just me. Oh, Rhiannon. Rhiannon's a good story. Well, I say good. It's not that great. But it depends what story this one is, because this is either the meeting of Rhiannon and her king, or this is the one with her child. I'm not sure, because there's obviously a couple. Oh, this is the one. This is the meeting. This is the meeting. Does this book have her child one? Because that's the one I like. It's a terrible story, but it's the one I like. Let's go to the scene. Oh, they don't have that one. That's a shame. I think I've mentioned it before on my stream, actually. So Rhiannon's story, there's a couple. The one I'm thinking of is after she's married the king. So she and the king have a baby. I think it was a son. Can't remember the son's name, but they have a son. And the son goes missing, or presumed dead. I can't remember who it was. I think it was a maid, but it might have been like someone else. So the child goes missing, and the king thinks the queen, Rhiannon, has like offed her own child, because she's like from the fairy world. So he punishes her by making her act like a horse, and make her give rides to like his guests from the entrance of the castle gates all the way to the castle. It turns out the kid's fine. He grows up with giants and comes back after they tell him that, he was found. So he comes back and she's proven her innocence. It's a terrible story, but I actually like it. I can't remember if the king's like punished for, whatever. Probably not, because that time kings could do whatever the fuck they wanted. But yeah, that's actually one of my favorite stories with Rhiannon. But it's not in this book. I'm sad. There's some Christian ones in here. Christianity is, well, I'm going to say fairly new. It's obviously not that new to like Welsh culture in hindsight. Obviously it's been around a long time now, but most Welsh lore does not actually involve like the devil and stuff, because we didn't believe that stuff back then. But there's been some, I'm going to say new, obviously they're not new, integrations of the devil and stuff now, because obviously it mixes Welsh culture with Christianity. It's interesting and fun to read, but yeah. There we go. It's an interesting little lore piece. So I don't know, I want to what are they doing down there? They're hurting themselves. They haven't even gone to the pub yet and they're already hurting themselves. Okay, let's read this one. This one seems interesting. Where's my drink? Where's my drink? Because if we're going to chat, I'm fairly sure I'm coming down with a cold or something, because I was losing my voice the other day. And all I've done is sniffle and sneeze. I should be alright for now. It doesn't feel like I'm sneezing. But yeah, I'm fairly sure I'm coming down with cold. So let's stay hydrated. Okay. This is called the Drowned Land. It has nothing to do with the flood, but there's loads of different tales of like floods and different things in different cultures. So it's not that flood. I don't know why I need to specify that, but I do. Okay. Kenta Whitelord. Okay, I think I can pronounce that. Okay. Is it this one? No, it was that one. Okay. Let's make myself a little bit smaller for screen. Okay, there we are. Is it this one? Yes, it is this one. This is my tea, because we're about to spill some. It's not really. Not really. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to have to make sure my camera, however, does not get, well, my book does not get in the way of the camera. So let's plug this up there. Okay. Something like that. There we go. Okay. So now I can put my book there and I can read and not have to worry about hiding the camera. Because we don't want to do that. No, we don't. There we go. Okay, let's go. So if you visit Cardigan Bay today, you'll see the beautiful blue waters of the Irish Sea. Once upon a time, people say that the Green Sea... Oh, sorry. I already can't read. My dyslexia is already off to a great start. All that sea was green land, is what I was trying to say. My brain was just like, words, what are those? This is one of the many stories that tells of what happened. So long ago, in the northeast of Wales, there was a land called... How did I say this was pronounced again? Kenta Whitelord. One of these days I'm gonna learn proper Welsh, and then I won't feel guilty about not being able to pronounce half of my language. But the joys of being in the south. They're trying to fix it now, where Welsh is becoming more and more a mainstream school lesson. But yeah, I'm just shit. Anyway, its name means the land at the bottom, and it was indeed the lowest area of land in the whole of Wales. It was a beautiful place, and because it was so flat and sheltered, It was the best land in Wales for growing crops. The people of Cantagwel, I still can't pronounce the goddamn. Yeah, Cantagwel. I will get that, I promise. Grew wheat and barley and tended orchards full of apples and plums and pears. They sold their crops all over Wales and grew rich on the profits. None of them worried that the sea was so close and so vast. The sea had never bothered the land in the past, they said, so why should it start now? Yeah, in hindsight. Anyway, and besides, they had the wall. They had a wall, guys. I could make a joke there. I'm not sure if my American friends would appreciate that joke though. Moving on. The wall stood like a giant between the land and the sea. It stretched from Bardsey Island all the way to South Cardigan town. It was 10 meters high at its tallest point, and 2 meters thick. Halfway along, there was a pair of gates that were opened at low tide so the fishing boats could go through. But when those gates were shut, nothing, not one single drop of seawater, could pass. Just to make sure, the kingdom had a wall's master. He was the second most important person in the kingdom after the king himself. I'm sure the king's advisors would disagree with that, but carrying on. It was the wallmaster's job to open and close the massive sea gates at the right time each day. And it was the wallmaster's job to ride around the wall and check that every stone was holding firm. And should the sea ever come over the wall, it was the wallmaster's job to I was about to say return, but no. To run to the alarm tower and ring the bells to warn everyone to flee. But no wallmaster had ever had to do that, and no one ever would. The wall and the land behind it were safe. Yeah, famous last words. Huh, okay. Oh, okay. Apparently Restream is like lagging a little bit because I saw Timar's comment on the screen before I saw it on Restream. You can't stay for long, just wanted to pop in and say hello. Hope you're streaming as well. Thank you. No worries. We won't be having a massively long stream today because obviously D&D. So I'll have to get ready for that at some point. So I'll say we got about until like 5 before I have to worry. But thanks for popping in anyway. The wallmaster at this time was a man called... Oh, why do Welsh names do this to me? Sethin. I think that's how you pronounce that. Because I've used Seth as a name in my book. Or Sethis, but it's pretty much the same. But then you got Enin. Seth Enin? We're just going to call him Seth. He got the job because he was friends with the king. Okay. Maybe that's why he's got such a big ego and thought he was like second like most important to the king. I see how this goes. He has a bias. The story is biased. Which is probably not the best reason to give someone a job. As Seth proved. Yeah, that's a bad reason to give someone a job. He liked it when people bowed to him and called him Wallmaster. Wallmaster. And he liked the gold he was paid every month. But he was far less fond of riding the length of the wall, looking for non-existent leaks. And as for the sea gates, he'd wished they'd never been invented. Opening and closing them every day was a heavy, tiring nuisance. Yeah, well, this is your goddamn job, mate. Well, we can already see how this is going to end. Well, I suppose the title of the story is kind of like obvious, but still. Very soon, Seth started leaving the daily wall inspections to his apprentice, Gwilym. He had let Gwilym take care of the sea gates too, but the boy was just only 14 and too small to turn the wheel that opened and closed them, so Seth had to do it himself. He grumbled about it every day. Yeah, well, nobody likes their job, Seth. Unfortunately, we still have to work. William didn't care about his master's grumbling. He was proud to be the well-master's apprentice. It was up to him to keep everyone safe, and he took his job seriously. More than once, he called Seth out to look at a crack at the wall, only find the crack was a bit of seaweed, or a mark on one of the stones. Still, it's better safe than sorry. Gwilym said. We're already safe, Seth sneered. The wall has stood for 100 years, and the sea has never come in. What makes you think it'll come in now? Gwilym reddened. He knew it was silly to worry, but he couldn't forget about the sea that thundered on the other side of the wall. He couldn't forget the one fact that only needed one hole in the wall, one mistake, for all that water to come pouring in. Yep. It just takes one person not to do their job properly, and you have hell. But the sea did not come pouring in. The winter storms came and went, and the wall held fast. As the days grew warmer, William allowed himself to relax a little. Seth was right. The wall had stood for a century, and it wasn't suddenly going to fall apart for no reason. What could possibly go wrong? Oh wait, that's the first thing that's possibly gone wrong. Spring came, and the king announced a banquet at the palace to celebrate. Hundreds of people were invited, including Seth. Of course, William, was not. See, as a writer, these repeated little words and phrases kind of annoys me a little bit. I'm guilty of doing it too, don't get me wrong. Which is why when you edit it, you go back and you read it out loud, so you know, if it sounds good. But the of course is a little bit much. Anyway, well, I'll stop nitpicking. This person's published, so yeah. I mean, technically I have, but yeah. Anyway. I don't know what you're sulking about, Seth said. You didn't expect the king to invite apprentice to the banquet, did you? William hadn't been sulking. He didn't like parties, and he was quite happy to have a free evening at home without Seth bothering him. But Seth seemed to be in a bad mood today, and wanted to pick on him for something. What about the sea gates? William asked. Who's going to close them if you're at the palace? From the sudden frozen look on Seth's face, William guessed his master had forgotten about the gates. I'll close them before I go to the palace, of course, he snapped. Now go away and stop bothering me. Oh, what a wanker. Oh well, will he get his comeuppance? Probably not if he's the king's friend. Anywho, Gwilym was glad to get out of his way. That evening, a cold wind blew on in off of the sea. Gwilym felt it and shivered. Had Seth remembered to close the sea gates? I'm going to say no. But of course, there's that of course line again. Seth would have remembered. He wouldn't forget something as important as that. See, that's on the same page. There's three on the same page. Who the fuck edited this book? I'm judging you guys. Better safe than sorry, Willem murmured to himself. He saddled up his horse and set off in the direction of the wall. As he drew near, he heard a strange sound. He wasn't sure what it was at first, as he'd never heard anything like it before. Then it hit him, and his heart almost stopped in his chest. Water. That's what it was. The sound of water. Running. Flowing. Pouring. Willem urged his horse into a gallop. As soon as he saw the sea gates, he guessed what must have happened. Seth, in his hurry to join the king's banquet, hadn't closed them properly. It wouldn't have mattered at low tide when there was a strip of sand out between the sea and the wall. But now the tide was at its highest, and the pouring waves were pushing the gates further and further apart. Of course they were, because Seth is a fucking asshole who doesn't want to do his own job. Like, he has one job. Granted, it might be a little bit tiresome riding there, and then opening and closing gates for boats. But it's still your job, mate. Anyway. Willem jumped off his horse and raced to the wheel that operated the gates. He heaved until black spots danced in front of his eyes, but there was no use. He couldn't even manage to turn the wheel at low tide, and now, with the sea forcing its way through, it was impossible. Willem jumped on the back of his horse. He had to warn people. He rode as fast as he could. Back to town. People turned to stare as he slid off the horse and ran up the steps of the alarm tower. 2 at a time, Willem pulled on the rope. The bell, which had never been used before, moved sluggishly, and then it swung wildly. Clang, clang, clang. I kind of wish I had, like, sounds now. The sea is coming, Willem shouted. Everyone run! The sea is coming! Some people laughed at him. Others screamed and fled in panic. Willem ran down from the tower and pushed through the crowd. He had to find Seth in the palace. He rode through the streets to the palace gates. A pair of guards barred his path. Where's Seth? Willem gasped. The sea is coming. The guards stared at him in disbelief and laughed. You're Sethin's apprentice, aren't you? One of them said. Your master's at the party with everyone else. Go on in if you want. Don't blame us if he boxes your ears for it. Of course he'd get in trouble. Because Seth is a wanker. We've already established this. Willem squeezed between them and ran inside. The noise, I was about to say nose. I've lost the plot. Hit him as if he'd run into a wall. The hall was full of people, eating and drinking, laughing and talking. Musicians played in one corner, and servants weaved their way through the crowd, carrying trays. No one took the slightest notice of Willem. As he caught hold of a servant girl, "The sea is coming," he shouted. The girl started to laugh. But then she seemed to understand that he wasn't joking, and her eyes widened. Yeah, bitch. She dropped her tray and pushed through the hall, shaking people. Then Willem saw Seth and slumped over a table, his head on folded arms. Willem rushed to him and shook him. What's his deal? That is literally in the book. Okay, it's literally in the book. Sethin mumbled, shoving him away. The sea is coming, Willem shouted in despair. Despair? Well, that too, but in desperation. Sethin pushed him away again and put his head back on his arms. Willem felt someone tugging his shirt. It was the servant girl. We warned them, she yelled. We have to run. Some of the people in the hall did seem to realize something was wrong, and they were getting up, stumbling to the door. The musicians stopped playing, and, without the sound of their instruments, Willem could hear a distant roar growing louder. Yeah. It might be too late for you guys. I probably should actually feel sorry, because this guy, this kid's only 14. and he's doing his best, bless him. I have no sympathy for Seth, though. He's an asshole. You know what? When I wrote my character Sethis, I wrote him to be an asshole. I didn't realize it was a name thing. He cast one last look back at the king's hall, and then he let the girl drag him through the doors into the courtyard. The guards had already fled, leaving Willem's horse standing inside the palace gates. The street outside the palace was full of people running in the distance. Willem saw a dark line, topped with a foamy white. Yep, it's a common. He climbed onto his horse and offered his hand to the servant girl. She climbed up behind him, and as they rode... No, minus the as. My dyslexia. I love it when my mind just adds words or misses words. That's great, thanks. Through the streets, away from the palace, away from the tumbling wall of water. They didn't stop until they reached the hills overlooking the town. Willem slid off the horse and collapsed in the grass. The girl sat down next to him. In silence, they watched as the sea rolled across the green land, covering it completely. To this day, people say, at low tide, you can see the trees poking out from the seabed of Cardigan Bay. And sometimes, when the wind is blowing off the sea, you might be able to hear the warning bell clanging back and forth, pushed this way and that by the waves. That's the end of the story. Let's check that back in there. It's not a bookmark, but I'm using it as one, and so I'll have to do. Yeah, so there are actually places in Wales. I think it might even be that place. Where there is like definitely signs of what used to be an old town, like a seaside town, which has now been swallowed up by the sea. There are also towns inland. I can't remember the name of it now, but there was an old mining town, and that was flooded. I can't remember if that was man-made flood or if it was natural disaster flood. But the village or town is still there, technically beneath the water, and divers can have gone down to have sort of look at it. It's quite interesting, really. So yeah, anyway, that was the story. So not a mythical legend or anything, but still an interesting story about Wales. And I hope you guys liked it. I can't see because my glasses are all dirty. There we go. Okay, so we have about 20 minutes before I need to... Oh, I've lost. Okay, there we go. So I have about 20 minutes before I've got to go and get ready for D&D. I don't know if I'm going to take food, actually. We usually order, or my friend makes me pasta, and I love pasta. But I've already had pasta today, so I don't want pasta again today. Pasta twice in a row is nice, because they're different pasta meals, but still, a bit too much. Let's move this back down here. There we go. So yeah. I also need to put some decks in my bag, because I don't think I'll do D&D straight away, because I think we gotta wait for whoever's in work. Right, so what should we do for 20 minutes? What shall we do? Nope. I realize you were. Okay. I mean, we could do a reactionary bit, I think, maybe. Let's turn the desktop off for 2 seconds. Well, desktop sound off for 2 seconds. Okay, there's only one there. Okay, maybe not. I don't really have anything worthy of reactionary to. Okay, no worries. You know what? I could totally add that to my Discord, actually. Because then, if you guys have any stuff you want me to react to, I can. Let's just make sure I put all the right permissions. No, not manage. Add links, yeah. Because then you can add links to that. Okay, there we go. I should be all right. Yeah. Here we are then. Okay, so I've just added that to my channel. That way, because I don't mind doing a little bit of reactionary. Obviously, that's not the main focus of this channel. Yeah. It is nice to react to things sometimes. Obviously, I think YouTube might be cracking down a bit more on that. So as long as we make it transformative, we should be all right. But yeah. If there is anything you want me to react to, I don't mind. The thing is, my algorithm is it's not bad, but sometimes a lot of political stuff come through, and I'm just like, I really don't care. I mean, I care, but I don't care. It's like I can't do much with that. I'll be nosy and watch something, and I'll be like, this has nothing to do with me. I don't care. And I'll still watch it because I'm bored. Ugh. I wish I had entertaining things to watch. But never mind. That's my own fault for being nosy. It's like I think most of it is just like covering drama and things that are, you know, dumb as well. But I think that's just human nature, though. Human nature to be nosy, and I'm quite nosy. What's the time? Okay, we got 10 minutes. We got 10 minutes, unfortunately. Otherwise, I'd just like play a game or something and just like chill. But I do have to get ready for D&D because my bag has Nothing in it. I need my D&D dice. I need my magic dice. For my one tokens. I need some decks because I want to try them out because I haven't really tested them very much because we've been D&Ding. What else do I need? Drinks. Maybe food. It's either that or I eat takeaway. And I don't really have money. Wait. I just realized I have human ears on ahead of my health ears. Why is that? Oh god. Hang on. You guys are not going to be able to see this shit. I don't think. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Save. Done. I think I'm gonna have to do it for every freaking. What's that one? Okay, there we go. I don't know why I forgot to turn the human ears off. That's really embarrassing. Not that anyone has ever noticed. There we go. Now I have just elf ears. No human ears, just elf ears. Man, can you imagine having that many ears? That's why when I see cat girl and boy girl VTubers, and they've still got their human ears, but then they've also got their animal ears, and it's really jarring because why would you have that many different ears? Like even if you had evolved to have more than one set of ears, you'd still have the same ears. You wouldn't have like different species. So it's really funny. Like I'm not going to obviously bully people for this. It's just a little bit jarring. That's all. And I might tease a little bit, but it's whatever. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that deep. But just can you imagine having like more than one ears and they're different species? So you've got like dog ears and cat ears, or dog ears and like I don't know, dinosaur ears or something. Just little holes in your head on top of having new dog ears. Really weird. Oh, imagine human ears and dog ears. Because that's what the anime, animal girls and boys have. They have animal ears, and yet they have like ears on top of ears. I don't think. Do I have cat ears? Um. No. Yeah. I don't think I do. I don't think I set that up. Oh no, I did. I did set that up. Now I have more than one set of ears. See how jarring it is, though? Like, It's really funny to have more than one set of ears. Honestly, I should have put the rabbit ears on because that's the meme that we're going with for some reason. But they're not as expressive as the cat ones, so. Oh wait, I do have the bunny ears. Now we're just ear inception. I don't think I've. Oh, I did. I did. What other ears did we put on? Oh, and the fox ones. There we go. Now we're just an abomination of ears. We just have all the ears now. I'm an eldritch abomination now. I'm not a dragon. I'm an eldritch abomination. I am the eldritch god of ears. Fear me, for I hear everything. You guys are gonna like come back later and be like, the fuck is Yukiro doing? Has she been taking happy pills? Has she? The answer is no. No, I have not. Oh no. I've lost the plot. Not that I ever had a plot, but we're all ears here. Well, this is a great way to end the stream. Well, if you have any problems, I'm all ears. Help me. Help me. I am being held at ear point. Your queen of eldritch abominational ears is about to go insane. About to. Already has. Oh dear. It would have been nice had like the other ears been really more expressive as well. But oh well. I'll take what I can get. They're off weekly. Oh no. Okay, well, bye cat ears, bye rabbit ears, bye dog ears, and bye fox ears. Help. Help. Well, guys, it has been fun. It has been entertaining. But this ear abomination is gonna go and get ready for D&D. Hopefully, I will have stories to tell next stream. Fingers crossed I can stream this weekend. Because I really would like to, for a change. But don't hold me on it because I don't know what's happening in regards to children and how loud this place is going to be, especially if we're having a friend from Bath here. So it's going to be loud. I mean, granted, they'll probably be down the pub most of the time, so should be quiet enough. We'll see. We'll see. I won't promise, but I'll try. Oh no. Anyway, guys, it's been much fun. Much love to you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.